Pia kwanza tusome kidogo kuhusu leadership na utasaidika sana in Jesus name. So we are continuing with other laws, the laws, maybe just remind me a few of the laws of leadership that we have already gone through. Just remind me. The law of the process, yeah? The law of the lead, the law of the mountain, navigation, yeah? The law of inference. Yeah, good. I think I have good people here. Asanteni sana sana sana. Usikuwa umeketi hapa na ukumbuki hata moja. Because they are used to practice. Ukianza na hiyo the law of the lead, si ndio? Hiyo ya kwamba a leader can become the greatest he learns to their leadership. So, and we're going to another law, the law of respect. That should be on page 5, the law of respect. You also need to lead page 4 on your own time on how you need to grow yourself as a leader and how you need to build other people into leadership. So the law of respect. The law of respect is our lesson 1 in this volume 3. So people naturally follow leaders stronger than themselves. People naturally follow leaders who are stronger than themselves. Sindio? Hata even in the natural, tuseme ni usiku na kuna kamtu kebaba na kuna jamaa mwingine hapa wako 6 pack. Ungefuata nani wewe? Yes, indeed. That's naturally. Naturally, people will follow people who are stronger than themselves. Indeed. That's why we find people behind some celebrities because they think they are stronger than themselves. So people naturally follow. Now, even in leadership, people naturally, yani like unconsciously, ni kama hata hawajui, lakini kuna kitu ina connect mtu na strong leaders than themselves. And we're going to look at one of those leaders, and her name is Deborah. Her name is Deborah. So mama so tuko hapo sasa. Judges chapter 4 is a story of, in the book of Judges is a story of Deborah, and you need to be keen as you study Deborah. So Judges, Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Rapidoth, was judging Israel at that time. And she would sit under the palm of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the mountains of Ephraim, and the children of Israel came to her for judgment. That's a brief of Deborah's ministry, that she was a prophetess, she was also a wife, and that she was judging Israel, and people naturally came to Deborah for judgment. Hiyo ni summary ya Deborah na maisha yake na mambo yake. So people do not follow others by accident. People do not follow others by accident. They follow individuals whose leadership they respect. So as a good leader, hakuna mtu atakufuata accidentally. Sindio? People can follow people by force. Yeah? Lakini we are not talking of that one. We are talking of you being followed because people respect you, and they respect you as a leader. The less skilled leaders follow the more highly skilled and gifted leaders. So the less skilled leaders, they follow the more highly skilled and gifted leaders. Only on rare occasions, a strong leader may choose to follow someone weaker than himself. Very rare. It can happen, but it's not common that somebody who is strong is following a weak person. But there can be reasons for that. Maybe the weak person is your leader. Si lazima umfuate hata kama uko strong. So kuna protocols that can make somebody ambaye ni weak afuatwe na mtu strong, but it's very rare. Definitely, it's not natural. It doesn't occur naturally. Yeah. But when this happens, it is for a special reason. Perhaps out of respect for that person's office, sindio? That person can be respected kwa sababu kama ndiye mdosi wetu tufanye namna gani? Tutakuwa strong, tunaongozwa na mtu weak na tutakaa tu kwa sababu we respect the office. Maybe it's a matter of age, maybe it's culturally where age must be really respected. So unakuta tunafuata mtu kwa sababu ya miaka yake, kwa sababu maybe in that setup what is being looked at is the age. Kuna watu wana define eldership by age. So you can find yourself behind somebody who is not very good in leadership just because they have gray hair. Sindio? Kuna watu wanasema kwamba wale wako na gray hair ndio watatuongoza. So tutafanya namna gani? Si tutatii tu nyuma yao tukijua kwamba, so it's not natural to find strong people being led by weak people, but it can happen. All past accomplishment, they have a lot of history, good history that we would like to listen to, and we can find ourselves, or you can find yourself, or people can find themselves following somebody who is not very strong. It might simply be what the chain of command requires. Protocols require that way. Kwamba lazima nyinyi mkue chini ya mtu fulani, si ndio? Kwamba it was just done this way, like we wanted to start a group, you said number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the number 5 becomes your leader. So you find yourself very strong 4 people, wamefuata number 5, when is not necessarily a strong leader. Definitely there are negative results on that, but that's you already know that, yeah? So this is called the law of respect. Okay. In general, however, followers are attracted to people who are better leaders than themselves. You're always attracted to people who are better than you. And that's called the law of respect. The more leadership ability a person has, the more quickly he recognizes leadership. Are we together? And that's we can pause there a little bit. Eti ndio uweze kukuwa mtu anajua viongozi, lazima ukuwe na uongozi ndani yako. So watu wasiotrainiwa in leadership, they can choose the wrong leaders because they are not skilled in leadership. Wanasema huyu fulani anavaaga vizuri. That's the level of their leadership. Walijua leadership ni kuvaa. So wakasema huyu anavaaga vizuri akuwe kiongozi, anaongeaga vizuri, anatembea vizuri, anatembeaga polepole hata hawezi umiza hata nini. So what you need to do to your people is to train people in leadership. Kwa sababu wakielewa leadership, that's the only time they're able to select a good leader. Ndio wamama waweze kuselect a good leader in the women department, lazima wakuwa wanajua leadership. Ndio wazee waweze kuselect a good leader, kama unataka waselect wenyewe. Useme kwamba eti watu wamechagua, wanaweza chagua mtu, but it doesn't have to be a leader. It's because of their leadership levels. So watu ambao hawana leadership knowledge, they can raise a youth leader who is the weakest of them all, kwa sababu hawajui leadership. So that's a good point. Nakupatia hiyo for your life, for your lifetime. Kwamba you need to know that if you want people to select leaders, when you start that organization, when you start that church, when you start that business, ungetaka watu wachague kiongozi, kwanza waketishe, wafunze nini? Leadership. Waelewe leadership ni nini. Kama sisi wa Kenya tuko zero kwa leadership. So tukiselect watu, unasema huyu alitokea kwa maandamano, ni kiongozi wetu. Eti huyu unaweza kavi anapiga kelele. Huyu atakagi nonsense, anaweza kukuchapa makofi. It's not that way. But people, and the more leadership ability a person has, the more quickly he recognizes leadership. So if you want to recognize leadership, even yourself, ukitaka kuanzisha biashara yako na unataka kuchagua kiongozi, ni wewe ujue ukuwe na leadership skills. Unaweza connect yule jamaa, yule ndiye kiongozi, or I'll raise that person to be the leader, or that one will not be the leader, or the lack of leadership. They recognize leadership or the lack of it in others. When people get together for the first time as a group, take note what happens. So you have always been to groups, Ushakutana na watu na ukajua kile kimeendelea. What happens? As they start interacting, the more skillful leaders in the group immediately take charge. Unakuta watu walipoanza kushikana polepole, wale ambao wako na skills za leadership wame take charge. Watu wanataka kupeana idea fulani, unakuta kuna jamaa fulani tu pana anajitokeza na kuna skills za leadership na ana take charge. As the people get to know each other better, it doesn't take long time to recognize the strongest leaders and follow them. So ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself these questions. Who was the last leader you followed because you respected him or her? Ni nani ulimfuata naturally? Sio kwa sababu eti umeingia kwa church ukakuta yeye ni pastor, lakini naturally you ended up like following that person or liking that person. Yani kuna vile unamfuata, si lazima uko ulimjoin, lakini kuna mtu unafuata. Ni nani huyo? Kwa sababu ulimfuata because you respected him or her. Utakuta ni wengi. Watu wengi unafuata naturally is because you respect them. Leaders that you may follow is because you respect them. What did you respect? Ni nini uliona? Nini what like? Nini kuvutia kwa huyo mtu? Ni nini hiyo uliona paka ukasema huyo ni kiongozi wangu ama huyo nitamfuata? Is there something that you learned from their leadership and now mimic in your leadership? Kuna kitu walianza kufanya na sasa wewe unafanya sasa hivi. What is it? Just asking yourself very good and wonder, can that gentleman be helped by somebody? Yeah, namtaka nikuwe acha nitakuwa pia. It's in leadership. Building respect. Building respect. Here are several factors why good leaders gain respect from others. How do you build this thing to make a respect? Is so important. Inafanya uvutiwe na watu, na ukiwa nayo watu watafanya nini? Watavutiwa kwako, watakufuata kama kiongozi. Sasa how do we build that thing? That thing that we need as leaders. So that even at the family level we are respected as leaders. In the community we are respected as leaders. How do we build respect? Here are several factors why good leaders gain respect from others. Here are several factors why good leaders, they gain, wanapewa hiyo respect from others. Number one, leadership ability. Leadership ability. Leadership ability is very, very important. If you possess exceptional leadership skills, people will want to follow you. So that's easy for you to get. Sit under this class and other classes. Train yourself in leadership ability and skills. When you have leadership ability that you are able, sio skill tu imejificha, kwamba you are able to do leadership. Umeenda kwa darasa fulani na umejifunza, sasa unaweza kufanya good, godly and right leadership. People will want to follow you. As explained in the law of the lead and the law of the process. The law of the lead states that kiongozi akiwa amefika mahali fulani, hapo ndio watu hawezi ongoza watu kupita hapo. Si ndio? Na watu wakianza kumpita hapo, anaanza kuwa loose. Kama kiongozi yako level 5 na watu wako level 4, anaweza waongoza, wakifika level 4 kidogo wakipanda, wanaanza kupitana. Na hawezi ongoza wakiwa level 1. Si ndio? So kiongozi anafaa kuendelea kugrow. So the more you get leadership ability, the more people follow you. Just try to imagine when kiongozi na miaka 3 nyuma ulikuwa level fulani. Si ndio? Ulikuwa level 5, ukaletoa watu wa level 1. So ulikuwa nakusifu sana. Ulikuwa unaongea, wanachukua notes, hata ukikohoa wanaandika notes. Kiongozi akosa, lakini usisahau ni kwa sababu wako level 1. Unaendelea kuwafunza, wanaingia level 2. Wewe uko 5 tu. Wewe ni wale viongozi walifika hawa grow, level 4. Wakifika level 4 mnaanza kupitana kidogo, unaona chukui notes sana. Si ndio? Hawacheki sana, hawana shughuli nawe sana. Alafu naanza kuona hawakuji kwa leadership, your leadership trainings. Kwa sababu the law of the lead inamaanisha kwamba the leader must keep on lifting the lead. Is like a lifetime process. You keep on growing them, and then there's a law of process. But the leader also agrees kwamba ndio aweze to grow, it will take time. It will take time. You sit, you're trained, you're taught, but that will help you grow your leadership ability. So your leadership ability will build your respect. So you can get that thing called respect. Sio Peter nasema kwamba unajua lazima mniheshimu. Lazima lazima unajua mimi ni kiongozi wenu, you have to respect me. So number 2, if you want to build respect, after your leadership ability, is you need to respect for others. You need to also to have respect for others. If you have grown to that level, kwamba uko na leadership ability, uko na leadership skills, you are a good leader, but also now you respect others. You respect others. Watu wana respect, mtu ako na respect. Wale watu hawana heshima, hawaheshimiwi. Wale watu wanatembea juu ya vichwa vya watu. People who just do things recklessly without respect. People have no respect in their words, in their actions. They rarely attract followers because people are attracted to people who respect others. Many leaders rely on intimidation to get people to do what they want. So kuna wengi kama hao wanakuforce, they just want to intimidate you. That's not really leadership. Followership is supposed to be voluntary. People are supposed to willingly follow you. It's supposed to be voluntary. When leaders show respect for others, when you respect your juniors, they will come after you. When you respect hata your followers, wakiona unawaheshimu, sio tu wanakuheshimu wewe, ni wewe pia unawaheshimu, wanakufuata. Especially for people who have less power or a lower position than theirs. These are people that they need you to respect them. Sindio? They gain respect from others. People want to follow people they greatly respect. Try to respect people. Try. Najua sisi hata wengine tushaikutana mtu mwenye does not respect you. You cannot follow them. Hata una shughuli na wao sana, lakini kwa sababu ya kazi lazima uketi chini ya lakini kwa sababu ya naturally you don't feel like you want to be together with them. So when people respect you as a person, it's very, very important. They will admire you. So people can respect you as a person. We respect this person. Ni mtu mzuri. They will, what they do, they admire you. Sindio? Because they respect you as a person. When people respect you as a friend, they love you. Sindio? Sasa kuna watu wanako respect kama friend. They love you. But when people respect you as a leader, they follow you. That's very, very important. Because you want people to follow you, but all they know is that you are a good person. Hawajaiona leadership. Wengine unataka watu wakufuate, na all they have is love for you because you are a good friend. Is until they see leadership that they will follow you. That's why watu wanaweza kukuadmire sana udhani wana. Sijaona hivyo hata when we're doing like selecting people to be our leaders. This person that we really like. Lakini akiweka kwa ballot, hatuna shughuli na yeye kwa leadership. Najua ni mzuri lakini he is a good friend, but we don't trust them as a leader. That's why you need to build this thing called respect and leadership. Number 3, how do you build respect? By courage. Leaders who have courage. Courage si kugoromoka. Courage si kufinyiria watu. Courage ni mtu akona anaweza simama kwa kitu wakati kuna odds. Anaweza ako courageous. Let's just read through. Imagine what must taken for Deborah. I want you to think of Deborah. She is our tunatumia kama our teaching aid. Deborah amerise kwa culture yenye naturally wamama hawarise. Sindio? Naturally kwa hiyo culture yao, naturally wamama hawako huko mbele kwa viti. But now Deborah is actually ako the top. Ako number one. Imagine what it must have taken for Deborah, a woman from the southern part of the nation, to call Barak, a poor man from one of the northern tribes, into her presence and command him to fight the Canaanite army to the north. This took tremendous courage. That kuna vitu lazima ushinde. Ameshinda hiyo intimidation. Ameshinda hiyo kujiangalia na macho ya gender. Ameshinda kuangalia, haangalii mambo ya culture. Yani yeye amejiangalia kama leader. Her courage was anchored in her conviction that God has called them to fight their enemies. That is where she got her courage. Mungu amenichagua So that gives me enough courage. So I can call even men. I can call even people who naturally I'm not supposed to call as a woman. But she did that because she was courageous. Sindio? The righteous are as bold as a lion. One of the qualities of a lion is courage. Courage. So when you are a courageous leader, people will naturally follow you. Sindio? Na kiongozi mwenye anaingia kila saa akisikia amestuliwa. Kiongozi mwenye hana courage ya kuface mambo. Kiongozi mwenye haezi kuja church kwa sababu sijui kulifanyika nini jana. Huyo ni kiongozi kweli? Kiongozi mwenye, kiongozi lazima kuwe na courage ya kuvuka culture, kuvuka mambo fulani. As long as God amekupatia hiyo position, unakuja hapo, kila mtu anakuambia one time, na uko hapo hivi umesimama, because that people love people who are courageous. Ama wapendi wewe? People are courageous. Everybody is saying Alex must go. Na Alex ako hapo amesimama akituongelesha, akiangalia simu yake ni matusi tu inaingia, na he is still continuing. Don't you love those kind of people? Kuna mtu mwingine tu anakanyangwa kidogo tu hivi na mtu akipita, then they are anaenda missing. But if you want to gain respect as a leader, courage. Can you say courage? You have to be courageous enough as a leader. Followers respect a leader who demonstrates courage based on conviction. That you are convinced that you are the leader. You are convinced of the mission. So you are courageous, standing on the position and on the vision. They follow leaders who are confident they can reach their God-given destination. Huyu jamaa ameamua lazima mfike kwenye mnafika. Lazima. Deborah alisema lazima tushinde kina Jabin na kina Sisera. Lazima. There's no two way about it. Muniite mama, muniite whatever. Mimi nasonga mbele. Hii vita. Paka aliambia Barak one day, bro, kama utaki kuja, tutaenda vitani. And honor will come through a woman. That's what he told that guy in that culture. Wakati alimwambia, aliita Deborah, aliita Barak, wakafuate Sisera. Sisera akaanza kumwambia, I want to go. I want to go. And Sisera, Barak akaanza kumwambia Deborah, siendi kama wewe Deborah hauendi na mimi. Akamwambia, yes, I'll go with you, but you need to know something. Honor will come through a woman. Honorable mother. Anaongelesha nani? Barak. Hey. Na wakaenda vitani, and you know what Jael did? Jael ndiye alipin Sisera na pin ya tent. Kwa sababu this lady was courageous. Even Jael was so courageous. So courageous. Ndio maana sasa Max ukipata katoto kingine ukaite Jael. So ndio. Jael ni courageous. They follow leaders who confidently that they can take you to their God-given decision is the key reason a follower is willing to take a journey with a leader. So another reason how you can create respect is success. Number 4 is success. Success. Can you fool a leader who has zero success? Eti alifanya hivi kaanguka, alifanya hivi kaanguka. Alafu umemwambia kufunza hiyo. Eti hiyo ndio unaenda kufunza kwa sababu you know, there's a time we had, I remember we had a couples meeting, and then we called for some people to come and do some talk to us. So one of them says in church, akauliza aje, sasa Alex, hawa tumeita watoto wako wapi? Kasema kuna mmoja ameendelea bwana. Watoto wako, yani watoto wake hawajasoma, wako kama class 8, mtoto wake first born ako 12 years. Lakini akwambia huyu jamaa anaelewa parenting. Sasa akamwambia kwenda huko. We have no business sitting under that person. Get us people who are already successful. Akatuambia kama utatuletea mtu atufunze, hakisha huyo mtu watoto wake wako uni hivi, not necessarily in school but in age. Akasema watoto wake wako 20 years. Sasa huyo kikuja kutueleza mambo ya parenting, we can listen. Lakini sio watu eti ndio ananyonyesha lakini ako na skills. Eti huyu mhoroni mzuri bana. Mtoto wake kwa wapi ndio ananyonya, lakini anaelewa parenting. Ako na degree. It's not like that. Some people will respect you because of your experiences, because of your success. That's why you need to succeed. Because some people, yani lazima upiganie hiyo kitu paka ifaulu. Kwa sababu without success, some people never respect you. As a leader for that matter. Leaders cannot help others become successful unless they have been successful. Is that simple? Is that simple? Is that simple? Before ufuate mtu, sindio? Hata mimi kuna vitu ziwezi ifunza watu. Because I'm not successful in that area. So si lazima ufuate mtu kwa sababu anasema afuatwe. Unaangalia success ya that area unataka kumfuatia. Sindio? So and there are many examples. You locate what you need, but look for a successful person in what you need for them to be your leaders. For them to be your leaders. People respect the accomplishment of good leaders. It is hard to argue with a proven record of achievement. Sita hivyo, naturally, you cannot argue with results. So huyu jamaa anakuja na results, anafaa kutuongelesha. Sindio? So you have ever gone to, nakumbuka sisi kama ni shule fulani enda kubisi kama kwa kina Mohoro wakiwa KU. Bwana, hawataka kujua kwa anointed kiasi gani. Wanakuuliza kimasomo uko wapi? Kwa sababu you're speaking to students. And sometimes we think those are not important things. But whenever you want to do good leadership, some people want achievements before they listen to you. Wanataka kusikia achievement. Hawataki status. Wanataka kwanza upambane nayo. Even when you're looking for a job, nasikia tukisema kwamba you have to have 3 years experience. Sindio? Na sometimes we blame them because wanasema kwamba how do we get experience? Na ndio tumemaliza shule na hakuna kazi, lakini you can get experience. If you know, you can get experience. Experience is available. It may not be 3 years, but you can start building your experience even through other things. You can volunteer some place and start building your experience. Successful leaders are always committed to the success of those who follow them. They find great joy in the success of their team. Wale viongozi wengi hawana success. Ni ngumu usucceed juu yako. Watakanyangia your success. Ukiwaambia unataka kuoa, naye hajaioa. Anaanza kukuambia sijui wanawake walienda wakarudi. And those are some people that we follow. Mwambie kwamba umepata kazi mahali fulani, hajaipata kazi. Beko nimeitiwa kazi fulani sijui wapi. Anaanza kuleta vizuizi. But success people who have skills in leadership, they would love you to succeed. They want also you to succeed. So Deborah brought success to her nation under her guidance, and the Lord had the hand of the children of Israel grew stronger and stronger against Jabin, king of Canaan, until they had destroyed Jabin, king of Canaan. So Deborah was a story of success. Ndio maana Baraki anasema, I won't go until you go with us. Because najua huyu mtu successful, nataka kwenda na yeye. Have you ever heard of these guys who went to cut firewood? Is it firewood or they were cutting what? I think they were cutting materials, za kujenga something. Hapo akaambia Elisha aende na wao. Kwa nini? Si kwa sababu tu ni mzee tu, kwa sababu wanajua we are calling a very resourceful person mwenye akona a lot of achievements na tujui kuombele kwa namna gani. So, number 5, loyalty. Loyalty can give you a lot of respect. The leaders gain enormous respect from their team when they stick with the team until the job is completed. That as a leader, you are loyal to that cause. Hiyo unatuitia, wewe tunajua you are going to the end. Then people will respect you. Lakini kusema leader mwenye anataka missing every other time. Anatuita, akuji. Anatuambia tu, but a leader, you have to be loyal to whatever you're calling people to do. So, they know that the team, until you are going to stick with the team until the job is completed. Remain loyal to the organization or cause when the going gets tough, because the going gets tough. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Those are the leaders that we want. When the going gets tough, the tough are still going. The going is very tough, but the tough are still going. They don't just throw in their towel quickly. They hold on even when things are tough, and invest in the followers even if it costs them something. Jamaa alipoambia atawaongoza, that's what he was talking about. That's what he meant. Hakusema atawaongoza wakati kila kitu itakuwa sawa. Even when things have gone so wrong, paka inamgharimu vitu vingine, anakubali kugharimika. That's somebody who is loyal to the cause. Loyal to the, sindio? So you can even be loyal, a loyal husband, a loyal wife, sindio? loyal to your family, and going can be tough. Lakini uko tu pale tu. Nasema lazima tusonge mbele. You are loyal to your whatever business, whatever, because things can get tough. Number 6, security. Leaders who are secure are so respected. Leaders who are secure. What is security in this context? The Bible says that the land of Israel had rested for 40 years. This is during Deborah akiwa judge, kulikuwa na utulivu for muda mrefu. We don't really know how long Deborah served as a leader. We do know she didn't try to take credit for Israel's victory. The Song of Deborah, you can read it in the book of Judges chapter 5. There's a very wonderful song, the Song of Deborah. Yeah? Deborah anasema aje, my heart is with the rulers of Israel who offered themselves willingly with the people. Nasikia huyu jamaa anasifu nani? The people, the leaders. Ako secure to kusifu wengine. Lakini kuna mwingine hawezi sifu mtu mwingine. Actually ukisimama ukose kumtaja, unaitwa kama mkutano hapo nje. Hapo mbona huko nitaja? Lazima unitaje kwa kila statement. Unajua mimi ndiye kiongozi hapa. You have to mention my name. Definitely people should mention your name, but not by force. But leaders who are secure, they will mention your name. Deborah is actually giving credit to other leaders. Anasema ndio tuweze kushinda vita ni kwa sababu ya Jael, ni kwa sababu ya so and so. And that's the security that people respect. She gives special recognition to the people who had shared in the victory. Until you get there, unaweza kosa kupata respect. When somebody does something good in your leadership, do you mention them? Tulisoma ile kitabu ingine, you do it privately, you do it publicly. You do it privately. Yani unamkuta yeye mwenyewe, ama unampigia simu. Unamwambia Steve bwana, kama sio wewe, leo tungekuwa na matatizo mengi. Halafu in public, when your team is around, unasema kwamba wow, today I want you to clap your hands for Steve because of what he did for us yesterday. People respect that kind of a leader. Leader mwenye hajaiongea jina ya mtu mwingine. Watu wanaanza kushuhudia, si Muhoro ndiye alifanya kitu fulani. Na hajaongea, mduzi haongei. Mduzi anafaa kuongea. Leaders get respect when they are secure enough to lead other people. Sindio? She gives special recognition to the people who had shared the victory. People respect leaders who do not grasp all the credit for themselves. Secure and mature leaders give as much credit as possible to their team. Ukisema kulikuja na ushindi, sema we. Sindio? Useme me, sema we. Unaona venye si wewe. Ni hao wengine walihusika. Na kama kuna walihusika outstanding, just mention them. You get a lot of respect. Sindio? Number 7, value added to others. Respect utaipata sana ukianza add value to other people. When you start adding value to other people, ukianza kutoa watu value, unajua kuna watu wanajua kutoa watu value. Hata ulikuja tu ukiwa tu hapo hivi, mbona hujui kumashisha? That cannot be a statement that you need to speak to somebody who has no opportunity of going back home. Sindio? And you don't run their life. Ameingia church leo na amekuja ibada na unajua harudi nyumbani, you know that. Actually, and your work is not ama when ni fashion designer ama when ni preacher. So you need to understand who you are. Then you have just told somebody who was alikuja akiwa na mioto, Max amekuja hapa najua leo tutaomba, leo tutafanya nini? Hey Max, hey, thank you for coming. Lakini kama hiyo black ugeivana, that's not what we do here. Here we are raising disciples. Pengine ukielewa kwa nini amevaa hiyo nguo, ungemshukuru. Pengine nguo ameomba, hana nguo yeye. Sio kama wewe maybe uko na wardrobe, unaweza choose, unaweza mix colors. So leaders, you need to, I'm just using that example, but there's some leaders who whatever they say is devaluing people. They never get respect. But you need to get reasons of adding value to, even telling somebody they look nice. You're adding value to them. Umepreach vipoa. Umefanya vizuri. So perhaps the greatest source of respect for a leader comes from his or her dedication to invest in the growth and development of others. That will be the greatest source of respect. Wakati unatakia wengine mema, wakati unachukua hatua, unaonyesha mtu mahali ambapo ataendelea zaidi, atagrow zaidi. That literally gets you a lot of respect. You can be certain that followers value leaders who add value to them. That's you ingie ndani yako kwamba followers follow leaders who add value to them. So that those are the 7 things that we have talked about. Tutaziangalia tu tukimalizia vizuri, because there's a place that you need to give yourself some marks in all those 7 areas. So this is how, sindio? Sikumbuka hizo: leadership, ability, respect for others, courage, success, loyalty, security, and value added. Sindio? So in your skill formation, a simple way to gain the respect of others is by listening to others before making a decision. Simple way. Yani, one of the good ways of gaining respect is the ability to listen to people. Kama uko kwa leadership, usikuje kupea watu, okay, not all the, sometimes you can, at a time, the leader need to give direction. Sindio? We are not ignoring that. Sio kwa sababu ni kiongozi lazima kila saa unakuja uliza, mnaoneleaje? Then sasa hapo kuna shida. There's a time that you need to give direction. But a leader who listens to others gets a lot of respect. A leader who listens to others before making a decision. What are some simple relational practices that you can employ to hear from people before making a decision to gain respect? Nini unaweza fanya ndio uweze kuwa unasikiza watu? Si ndio? You need to value them. Watu wenye huvalue uweze wasikiza, unakuja tu unawaambia. But people who value you, always listen to them. Si ndio? People that you care for, you know they can also have, if you value teamwork, the law of the mountain, you'll always be listening to other people, because unajua sio wewe tu unaweza leta ushindi. God has given you a team. So, and you can look at other things that you can practice that can help you to hear from others. Levels of leadership. Again, the Judges 5, village life ceased. It is ceased in Israel. Yani, kuna huyo watu kukaa pamoja, ilifika mwisho in Israel. Kulikuwa a lot of challenges until Deborah. You do the song of Deborah. Sindio? Sinaanza hapo. Until Deborah arose. I arose as a mother in Israel. Na leader Deborah akona vitu nyingi. Sisema yeye ni judge, ni prophet. Tena ametuambia yeye aliona kuna gap ya mother. Akaingia kama mother pia in Israel, because aliona that village life, sindio? That community life had left. And what you need that time is the spirit of a mother. You know, the mother spirit unites the people. People feel calm. People feel watu wana shiba mkuru akiwa area. That mother. Sindio? Even a father kanaweza kuwa na leadership ya mother. Sindio? How did a woman gain the respect of a male-dominated culture like that of Israel in 1100 BC? That's a good question. Hiyo culture is a male-dominated culture. Na ni zamani, hakukuwa na hiyo mambo. Hatuko tumeenda Beijing kutetea wamama. Hakukuwa na hiyo story zote. It was just male-dominated. But in that male-dominated culture, that's a story of hope. That even what you are saying is a hindrance, you can go through it. Hata wewe kenye unasema inakuzuia ufanye leadership. Unafaa kuketi na Deborah. Now that's why we have the book of that Judges. That you can sit with Deborah. You can sit with Deborah, uanze kusoma vitu kutoka kwake na uzitumie na uone vile ambavyo unaweza rise. How did she become the greatest leader of her generation? The one who brought rest to her people for 40 years. As with all highly effective leaders, she took a journey up the ladder of leadership growth. Umeshapewa Mwakenya hapo. Kwamba is a journey, is a process. She took a journey. Ndio wewe ukuwe leader kama Deborah, haiwezi kuwa instant. Hakuna instant leadership. Eti umesoma lesson moja leo, kesho umesema mimi ni leader. It doesn't work like that. It's a process. It's a process. Leadership is always a process. But Deborah took this leadership journey. And you need to take the leadership journey up the ladder of leadership growth. For many years, John C. Maxwell has taught a lesson entitled The 5 Levels of Leadership. He explains that the lowest level of leadership for any person is when they have only a title. The lowest level. The lowest level. Si basi wengi tunaoperate kwa hiyo lowest level. Kwa sababu wengi yenye tuko nayo ni title tu. Tulipoambiwa kwamba wewe ndiye chairman wa baba. Hakuna kitu kingine ulifanya. Uko tu hapo, unajua lazima mkuje, ni chairman ameitana. That is the lowest level of leadership. You want people to listen to you because of your position. Uko bado there are other many levels of leadership. So that's the lowest level of leadership, where people want to lead from title or job description. Kila sana kwambia, unajua ni kazi yangu, usiguse kazi yangu. That's low. That's lowest level of leadership. All leadership begins at that position. We are not ignoring, it's not at to yondoe, but it's the beginning. Definitely you need to understand your title. You need to understand your job description. But that is not the tool unafaa kutumia kutuongoza nayo. Sindio? Understand your job. By the way, you need to understand your job very, very, very well. Lazima kuwe na those boundaries. Hii kazi ni ya fulani. Hii kazi ni ya fulani. That is where Deborah began as a prophetess. But she did not remain there. So don't remain there. We know you are the father. That one we know. So don't keep on reminding us. But don't remain there. We know you, that one. Now, but that's position 1. Level 1 of leadership is position. Where people follow you because they have a right to follow you. Sindio? Because they have to. Hawana jengine. Hawana kiongozi mwingi. Wewe ndiye kiongozi mwenye amewekwa pale. So lazima wakusikize kwa sababu wewe ni kiongozi. Lakini sasa usikae tu hapo. Unafaa ukuwe bado kiongozi, lakini uende to the next level of leadership, whereby you create relationships. Number 2, permission. Hawa watu ambao unaongoza wasikufuate tu kwa sababu wewe ndiye kiongozi. You start now building relationships with them. That's why now people follow you because they want to. Because they can relate with you. Not because that you are the anointed one. You see David is the anointed one. Sindio? So people can follow him because he is anointed. But you can see when he went to the cave of Adullam, alianza kubond now. They created a relationship. Hasa watu walianza kumfuata. Ndio maana hata wanamletea hiyo maji. Sio kwa sababu tu ni kiongozi. Kiongozi tu ataitwa hawezi letea hiyo maji. Nobody is ready to die for you. But people, when you create relationship, now people wanaanza kukufuata zaidi. That's when people follow you because they want to. Because you have a lot of kuna chemistry between you two. Wameanza kurespect kwa sababu umeanza kurelate na wao vizuri. You're not just there talking about your office. Then you go to, pia hapa usikae. Beba lakini usikae. Kuwa na position, unabeba unaenda kwa permission. Unabeba sote mbili sasa. Sindio? Unaenda kwa production. Whereby we need to see results. We need to see results. People follow you because of what you have done for the organization or for the ministry. Hiyo lazima ikuwepo. Hawezi kuwa mtu hana results. Then we have the wrong person. If we have no results, then we have the wrong person. Lazima we need to see growth. Whatever we have given you to lead, lazima tuone tulikupatia ikiwa level 2, bado iko level 4. Lakini kama tukupatia 2 na bado iko 2 na bado iko 2, then something is not right. We don't see results because people will follow you because of your production. You are a productive leader. There are results. People follow you because of what you have done for the organization. And that is not enough again. That is not enough. We can still go higher. We can still, even with results, we need to go to people development. Those people now, some people can look at their own lives and point that life to you. And their own life. definitely you're leading an organization. Sindio? Uko na position, people, you have created good relationships, uko na results, but now people can see something, the reproduction, whereby people follow you because of what you have done to their lives. There are some things they can point into their personal lives. Na waseme kama sio Steve, singefika hapa. Kama si Steve alikuwa tu pastor, ni pastor, lakini ndiye alifanya mtoto wangu aende mahali fulani. Ndiye alifanya, yani people also, as you do leadership, you discover is about people development. Are we together? And everybody can do that. Everybody can connect with people personally. Sindio? So then the fifth level, and this is not easy, the fifth level, is personhood, where people respect. Sindio? People follow you because of what you are and what you represent. Now, this takes years. Isio ile etini siku tatu. Hiyo hata ni watu wachanga wachache sana wako na hiyo. Because it's like you have built yourself with time. Come when your name is mentioned. See, I told you the other time when they were introducing themselves to the president of Nigeria, and everybody would say their name and what they do. See, my name is so and so. I'm an engineer. Hey, my name is so and so. I'm this and that. And then the last guy says, "Your Excellency, I'm Aliko Dagote," and everybody claps. Yani jina yake sasa imekuwa hata there is a lot of respect. This is a guy who has changed so many lives. Paka economy ya country yenyewe as a private citizen. I may change. Even in Kenya we have some people, they don't need to say a lot about themselves. Mzee anasema watu wanasema kwamba so my name is James Mwangi. Sema what? Equity. Wow. Kila mtu akapata account. This is what comes into your mind. Hata mama boga akapata account. Hata unaweza weka 40 bob kwa bank. Tulikuwa tunaweka 20,000. Unaweza fungua bank bila ina zero. People are empowered everywhere. Kuna paka equity afya. Unasema wow, this is another one. That level is another level though. Inaitwa personhood. Sindio? The fifth and the highest level of leadership is personhood. It is a true respect level. A leader who invests his life in developing people and ministries makes such an incredible impact for so long that people follow him because of who he is and what he represents. Kuna watu kama hao pia, si ndio? Lakini tusijidanganye eti kama kuna mmoja kwa hii room. Hakuna. Usijidanganye eti kwamba umefika personhood. Unafika mlango eti ni Peter. What Peter? Which Peter? Lakini kwa mwingine bisha mlango anasema tu jina, inafunguliwa paka ya huko ndani. Paka boss anakuja kumla. See, there are those people in our communities. Even at the village level, kuna watu wamebuild their names. Sindio? Akienda pale kwa chief anakiwa kwa meeting anaambia kwamba so and so anakugoja nje. Unasikia sifa anasema kwamba gojeni kidogo niongee na huo mzee ndio nimwachirie. Huyo ni nini amefanya? Kuna amebuild with time. Amebuild a lot of respect, a lot of resources, a lot of people development. Paka amepata hiyo level ya personhood. Ndio naweza tumia Aliko Dagote mwanze kusema kwamba ni matajiri. Hapana. Anybody, even in your school, a student can also get that kind of a level. Kwamba jina yake iko mentioned. Shule yote na hana title, sio head boy. Paka polisi wanasema kwamba kama ni wanaongea, let's listen to them. Because of how they are built in those 4 years, they have been able to build something bigger than themselves out of respect, and all those other 4 levels of leadership are alive in them. So a leader who invests his life in developing people and ministries makes such an incredible impact for so long that people follow him because of who he is and what he represents. While we don't have a long record of Deborah's accomplishment, it is obvious that this mother of Israel achieved the highest level of leadership and respect with her people. Don't focus on trying to get to level 5. Yeah? Sindio? Usianze kusema kwamba mimi lazima nifike level 5 this year. Don't try to get to level 5. You can only get there by God's grace and many years of faithful obedience leadership. Rather, do your very best to work your way up through the first 4 levels with as many people as you can with the purpose of adding value to their lives. So even the other 4 levels, your purpose is not to get to level 4. Your purpose is to add value to people. Your purpose is to add value to people. That's why you are giving results. That's why you're developing their lives. That's why you're doing all those other 4 levels. Develop people throughout your whole life. And then the rest will take care of itself. The rest will take care of yourself. Do what you need to do where you are. Do the best. And the rest will take care of yourself. So, the 5 levels of leadership. Respect in the 5 levels. When you are a leader, each relationship you have could be at a different level in the 5 levels of leadership model. Ukiwa kiongozi, sio kusema eti watu wote wanakuona kama person who is able to relate. Watu wale mkona wao, hata in the individual levels, uko at different levels of leadership. Uko na watu 10 wanakuongoza, maybe wawili wanakufuata kwa sababu tu ya title. Given an option, hawangekuja hiyo meeting. Si ndio? Maybe kuna wengine wanakufuata kwa sababu uliwasaidia. Wengine wanakufuata kwa sababu ya results. So every other person you relate with can be relating from a different level of leadership. So now, but the question is, what are the 2 behaviors that you can practice at each level to build respect with a person until you go to the next level with him or her? Uko na watu wengi, si ndio? Sasa, what can you do kwa hao watu ambao wanakufuata kwa sababu ya position? So that you can get to relationships. You start now caring for them individually. Si ndio? Unakuwa na meeting before the meeting and not because of the meeting. Si ndio? Sio kila saa unaongea about the meeting. Unakutana mtu pale nje unamuuliza, how is your family? Now you have started now relating. Si ndio? How is your family? Ufaulu aje jana? Kulikuwaje? Can we pray for you? So there are some things that you need to do to move from right to relationships. Si ndio? Na wale mko kwa relationships, wale ambao wako katika the permission level, you relate well with them. How can you get them to production? Now, start building teams for results. Si umeweza kurelate na wao. Sasa wacha isikue one man show, anza kuwaleta kwa team. Maybe we can now do this let us practice this as a team. Then you have results. Haya, uko bado, sasa uko na team, you have results. Mume win is always a win. You have a lot of results. But now you need to go to the other level of reproduction. Now start thinking about them as individuals. Yule mtu nikimtuma kwa ile meeting, anaweza pata kitu fulani. Yule mtu nikimconnect na mtu fulani, anaweza pata kitu fulani. Then you go to the level of reproduction. That people now can say a lot you have done for them. Then your ingine ya personhood, it will build itself with time. Amen. Amen. So, strategic formation. When working with a team, respect is vital among your team members. That's very, very important, yeah? How can you have a discussion with your leaders on showing respect to others? So, how can you build a culture of respect? You need to feel some things there. Uko na timu yako. Sinajua respect is very, very important. Sindio? Respect is very, very important, especially we live in a culture that it does not respect people. Does not respect even leaders. Lakini wewe hutaki yako ikuwe hivyo. Wewe ungetaka culture yenye ina respect leadership. Sinaona hata naturally even in our nation tumefunzwa kuto respect leadership or even each other. Kwamba mtu akienda mbaya, hey, anagundua tu naka kitu inaitwa respect. It doesn't matter what they do, who they are, their age. Za kuta watoto wadogo hivi, siliona juzi ile shule ya nini? Ya kwenu Kisii. Wenye nini? Watoto wanachapa walimu na mawe. Na wao walimu wanajibu na mawe. Anasema ikiwa kama ni mbaya, ukileta noma, tunaleta noma. Ukileta ngori, uliona hiyo teacher. Tukienda huko Kisii tusalimie hiyo teacher. Teacher analusha mawe bwana. Sasa what will happen to that school in the future sasa? Hata hiyo problem ikiwa solved. Kuna respect fulani haikutokelezea pale, si ndio? Now baadaye tuanze kurushiana mawe kwa hiyo family. Hiyo family ziko hivyo. Yeah, watu wana respect. Huyu amesema kijina, mwingine amejibiwa. Unakuta hakuna respect, but now because you want your whatever, your leadership, your organization, your ministry, your family to be good, what can you do ndio kukuwe na respect? Andika tu vitu fulani hapo. How can we show respect to others? Kuna vitu fulani lazima tukuwe na some crowd rules. Kwamba some languages will never be spoken in this organization. Sindio? Na ukiwa umeumia unaenda kwa fulani. This is how we deal with our conflicts, so that we can show respect for others. But you need to look at that as you do your strategy to form your team in the area of respect. So now, but these are some things that you need to remember. Principles to remember. 1, when a leader gains respect, leading becomes easier. You need to remember that one. Kwamba watu wakikurespect, utawaongoza kwa urahisi. Na tumesoma kwa nini watakurespect. Sindio? Yeah, leadership ability. Tumesoma hiyo mambo iko pale. Tutairudia tu tena, sindio? Iko hapo, respect for others, courage. Iko pale. When you gain respect. So as a leader, what you want is respect. Ufanye kile ambacho unastahili kufanya, paka ukue respected. Ukikuwa respected, it was so easy to lead somebody who respects you. Respect is a matter of leadership, not position, title, or gender. Respect is a matter of leadership. Ni uongozi yako tutaheshimu, sio position. Kuna kitu unaweza sema heshima yote iende, kuirudisha ni ngumu, na heshima ikipotea kurudisha iko rahisi. Ni kama trust, si ndio? If you lose trust, what happens? Kuigain is not easy. Inaweza take years and years before you are trusted again, or before you are respected again. So as a leader, your leadership is what will give you respect. Respect is the highest level of leadership. Iti watu wakikurespect, let me tell you, umeenda mbali. You are the highest level of leadership. You have made your way up until people respect you as a leader. Wanakurespect. Si kuna fathers that are not respected in families, and mothers, see the same. Nakuta people don't respect you as a father or as a mother. But if you're able to be respected, that's the highest level of leadership in that level. A leader is at his best when other leaders follow him. Ukitaka kujua sasa uko sawa, angalia nyuma na uone other leaders are following you. Other leaders are following you. Definitely can be leaders that you are raising within your team, or leaders that are not necessarily part of your team, but a leader, you are at your best in leadership when you find leaders are listening to you. You cannot get people to follow you by applying pressure on them. Some people think that is how people follow them. Pressure. Unaweka watu under pressure. Hakuna kupumua huko. Pressure. That is not a tool for leadership. You must apply pressure on who? On yourself. Actually, pressure is needed in leadership. But who do you pressure? You pressure, don't pressure us. Pressure yourself. Put yourself under pressure. Say, I have to learn this, I have to learn that. As a leader, I have to grow in this area. You pressure yourself. You have no business pressuring others if you are able to pressure yourself. If you put yourself in the right pressures as a leader, people will follow you naturally. Sindio, you must discipline yourself to do the following. This is how you discipline yourself. You discipline who? Your followers. No, you don't discipline your followers. Yes, if there is a conflict, there is part of discipline. But for you, you discipline yourself. You pressure yourself. How do you do that? Number 1, constantly improve as a leader. Uko na plan ya kuimprove as a leader. Sindio? Improvement, growth haikuwagi natural kwa leadership. Hata si kwa leadership. Hata kwa mwili. See, you have to eat some kind of foods for you to grow. Sindio? So hakuna, even for you to grow in your level of leadership, it can never be natural. It has to be planned. Lazima ukuwa unajua unakula kitu fulani, sindio? Unasoma vitabu fulani, unasikiza Mungu, unaweka, you have done all that. You have some good mentorship, and then you can improve yourself as a leader constantly. Not twice a year. is constant. What does constant mean? Inaendelea kwamba you develop yourself as a leader every other day, intentionally, not accidentally, intentionally. Cultivate positive relationships with your team. Cultivate. What does cultivate? Sinalimia. Nani analimia? The team, not the team. It is you, the leader, who will look for the team and create relationships. You reach out. You make sure that there are positive relationships, because there can be strained relationships. Hapo ameandika positive, si kimakosa, because there are so many forms of relationships. They can be very pressured relationships, strained relationships. People are together, lakini mmoja anaketi hivi. Shona mtu ameketi hivi kwa kiti na ameketa mwenzake. So unajua naweza mgusa kutokea ngori. Unaketi hivi na kando. You have to create a positive relationship that people are at ease. People are at ease, and that's when people are at ease, they are more productive. So with your team. Number 3, encourage and empower others. It is your responsibility to encourage, not to empower only, to encourage. To encourage others. You encourage them first. Encourage your people. Sindio? Sio discourage your people. You encourage your people. Kwanza unaingia pale kwamba as a leader kuna time unaweza kuja pale pako washindwe kwani wewe ni motivational speaker. Kwa sababu umewatia moyo bwana. Umewatia moyo alafu wanashindwa itaisha aje? Inaisha tu kwa kuwatia moyo. Wako wanasema wow. Tomorrow we come early enough. We come earlier than today. Not only encourage, then you also empower. Empower means that you train them, giving them some authority, encouraging them to make mistakes. We talked about that, that when you need to make your place a laboratory. By the way, when you're talking about family, we say that your family is supposed to be like a lab where people make mistakes. Like some families, hey, never make a mistake. You are dead. You're done. And that's why we have very unempowered people, because we're never given an opportunity of empowerment at the family level. Family yako ikiwe kama laboratory. Pale ambapo mtu anaweza make a mistake, alafu anakuwa guided. But I'm just saying that you need to be a person who is also able to empower others. When you empower people, you are ready for their mistakes. Sindio? And you don't kill them because of their mistake, because there was an empowerment. Kama shule. Sindio? Number 4, invest in others. Help them reach their full potential. That's your work. Una kiongozi yako na kazi smart. Akifanya hivi, atakuwa respected. You help people reach their full potential. Ukigundua kuna kipawa, umemsaidia njia ya kumanifest hiyo kipawa chake. So what is our coaching moment? When a leader takes the time to build relationships with others and gains their respect, people will follow the leader towards the next step in accomplishing his God-given dream. So the leader takes time. Takes what? Time to build relationships with others. When the leader does that, he gains their respect. Now, when he gains their respect, people will follow the leader and they will help the leader to accomplish his or her dreams. For the leader, it is important to know when it is time to introduce the next step of all part of the strategy. As a leader, there are several ways that you can know when the time is right with others to move them to the next step, because you have earned their respect. When you earn people, whether you sense kumove watu kwa hatua zingine na bado hujajenga respect. It's at a level where people now, they respect you, they have seen your results. Now you can tell them, now we are moving to the next level. Sometimes, because we also say the law, timing is very, very important in leadership. You can say something right at the wrong time. Inakuwa disaster. Something that was so right was said at the wrong time. Then instead of getting results, unakuta nobody is coming. Nobody is following you. So the law of timing is very, very important. But respect is always a good gauge. When you have gained respect at level 1, then you can take people to level 2. And also communication, again, we said is also very, very important. How you communicate your vision. How you communicate your dream. So what is our action plan? And here we need to look at this. Take a few minutes to evaluate yourself in the qualities below for this lesson. Go back to the beginning of the lesson to reread the definition of each qualities. On the scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being low and 10 being high, rank how well you are doing in gaining the respect of those who you work with on a regular basis. Ya kwanza ni leadership ability. Sindio? Where are you in terms of leadership ability? Are you a good leader? Do you have the ability? Do you have the skills? Are you growing your leadership? Unajipea marks 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Sindio? A respect for others. Watu wanakurespect ama ukoaje? Wewe ndio unajua. Sindio? Wanakurespect, so you give yourself. Are you courageous enough like Deborah? Can you go through the fire and you're still the leader? Can you go through culture and you're still doing leadership? Mulima imeingia. A mountain has come, but you're still standing there courageously. I can see the end. I can see hope. Do you have success? Do you have a success record? Unataka kutuongoza kwa kitu fulani. Kwa hiyo kitu kuna success. Okay. Loyalty. Are you loyal to the dream yourself? Yourself, before you tell us to follow you in loyalty. Are you committed to the organization and to the team to the end? Security. Are you secure enough to mention our names without mentioning yours? Unaweza to sifu as a team. Do you add value to others? Out of these qualities, which one have you ranked the lowest? Hizo saba. Digano umejipea max kidogo. If you do not improve in this area, what are 2 or 3 issues that could result? Tunaona hiyo vitu. Ile vitu uko low kwa hiyo vitu. Kama huta improve, utakuwa na challenge. Utakuwa na hizo challenge kwa sababu ni leader unafaa kuziona. Sema nikikosa kurespect watu, this is what I will get. Sindio? Nikikosa kuwa na courage, sindio? Haya, how could they directly impact the dream that God has put in your heart? How can you begin to work on this area so that it is not a weakness? But the hizo area saba, hafai kusema as a leader, I'm weak in this, and I'm weak in leadership skills. I'm weak in respect. Hapo kuwa na weakness. Hizo ni area unaweza train. Ukiona kuna weakness, these are training areas. Sindio? Hizi vitu unafaa kujitrain. Maybe there's someone in your team who gets a lot of things done, but does it at the expense of relationships. This is also very important, yeah? And there's someone in your team ana accomplish vitu, lakini akimaliza wamekosana na kila mtu. Yen ako so focused on results, kwamba doesn't care about relationships. Kuna watu kama hao. Kwamba akisema kitu lazima kifanywe, kitafanywa. Ukianza kumwambia ambia wewe toka kwanza. Ukienda kusema niko na maoni nyingine, wewe kwanza nimekufuta kazi. Yeah, and do you know that's not a strength? So but then there is somebody who has results at the expense of relationships. Sindio? How can you begin to teach them the value of respect? Through teaching them on the 5 levels of leadership. Kwa sababu watu wengine wanasema kwamba wako na results, lakini kabla hizo results zipatikane, see, what do they say? The head justifies. You know that's not leadership, yeah? I know you know that, I hope hautumii hiyo. The end justifies the means. No. Even what has gone in the process is so important in leadership. We don't only look at the end, we look at the whole process. So if you have this kind of a person, how can you hold them accountable in this area? Help them. Waambie pana, unakuwa na matokeo, lakini kila mtu anakuchukia kazi ikiisha. How can we help you? So I'm just saying that that's a lesson for you, and also you can also help somebody else in that law of respect. Si Mungu awabariki sana kwa hiyo. Na hiyo malo tusome zote, tuzitende, and we find ourselves rising in leadership at levels that we have never imagined in Jesus' name. And we can be on our feet as we get to the next part of the service.